Welcome to the QUT graduation ceremony. The ceremony is about to commence. We kindly ask that your mobile phone be switched off or on silent mode until the end of our ceremony. In case of an emergency, please remain calm and follow the instructions of the venue ushers who will ensure your safety. We now welcome our Real World graduates.
Hi, I'm Anne Sherry. I'm the Chancellor of QUT. I'm delighted to welcome you to your graduation ceremony and warmly congratulate you on being here today. As well as being a milestone for you, this occasion is a very important one for the university. To recognise that, this ceremony is modelled on the traditions of medieval European universities that date back 1,000 years. So we have a mace to symbolise authority, a Latin anthem, and academic dress styled in the traditions of that earlier time. More significantly at QUT, we celebrate the much older culture of the traditional owners of the land on which QUT stands, the Turrbal and Yagara people, whose customs and ceremonies date back more than 40,000 years. We pay our respects to their elders, laws, customs, and creation spirits. We have sought to deepen and expand the way in which you, as future decision makers, respect and value the precious contributions of those who've lived in this place for countless generations. As you have all discovered, QUT is a place where you've learnt new ways of thinking and doing. It's a place where you've been challenged to leave your comfort zone, to be bold and learn the practical skills you need to take the next steps in your career. And so I congratulate all of you on showing great commitment, courage, and achievement in qualifying to graduate today. Not only have you achieved academically, for many of you, coming to university may have required you to leave home, travel to a new country, or even persuade your inner voice or sceptical families that going to university would be worth the sacrifices. Just last year, more than 10,000 students graduated from QUT, joining the almost 300,000 professionals who are part of our global alumni network, of which I'm also a proud member. We look forward to welcoming many more students to QUT and supporting them while they study with us, as we have with you. We also look forward to supporting them in their chosen careers, whether in business, law, science, engineering, art, teaching, nursing, or many of the other pathways open to our graduates. I strongly encourage you to stay connected to QUT through our alumni network and to take advantage of the many networking and professional development opportunities it has to offer. For this is only the beginning of your journey. As you walk across the stage today, think about how far you've come. I know your friends and family are proud of you for the hard work you've put into completing your degree, and so are we. Once more, I extend my sincere congratulations, and we wish you every success for the future.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Margaret Shield, Vice-Chancellor of QUT. Today we celebrate the excellence of your achievements, the commitment you brought to your learning, and the dedication and perseverance you showed through every challenge. You chose our university because you wanted the real-world skills that industry demands. Today, surrounded by proud family and friends, either in the room or supporting you from afar, you stand before us as qualified professionals and emerging leaders ready to make meaningful contributions in your chosen fields. You have mastered complex disciplines while managing work, family, and personal responsibilities. You learn from and alongside researchers addressing our most pressing global challenges: climate science, healthcare innovation, and transformative technologies. And you achieved your qualification on lands that have served as places of teaching and learning for thousands of years, joining an unbroken tradition of scholarship and discovery. QUT is an ambitious, world-class university ranked amongst the top 200 globally. Our cutting-edge research in technology and innovation distinguishes us, but our true distinction lies in real-world graduates like you. Each project and placement has prepared you to enter your careers with confidence, and you now join a distinguished network of alumni, leaders in industry, innovators in research, and champions of positive change. As you embark upon your next chapter and go on to achieve remarkable things, remember you will also be judged by the care and compassion you show for others and the way in which you use your knowledge in the service for a greater purpose. On behalf of the entire QUT community, I sincerely congratulate you on your graduation and wish you all the best for what lies ahead.
Guests and graduates, please stand for the entrance of the academic procession.
Be seated. Good morning. I am Professor Ana Deletic, Executive Dean, Faculty of Engineering, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's graduation ceremony. In commencing today's proceedings, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land with the Welcome to Country video.
Balka be Balka, welcome in the language of the Yagara people. We acknowledge the Turrbal and Yagara peoples as the First Nation owners of the lands of where QUT now stands. For thousands of years, the Turrbal and Yagara people have gathered along the banks of Maiwa, the Brisbane River, to share their knowledge and stories. We pay our respects to their elders, laws, customs, and creation spirits. We recognise that these lands where QUT now stands have always been places of teaching, researching, and learning. We acknowledge the important role Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people play within our QUT community. From Moreton Bay, inland as far as the Great Dividing Range near Warwick and Toowoomba, as far north as the Caboolture River, including the lands around Brisbane City, Meanjin. Yura yura yinala, balka bi balka, nganguru maramakoro nganya birali, nganya bayam. Welcome to the traditional country of the Turrbal and Yagara people.
Before we start today, I would like to acknowledge that we are all devastated by the events at Bondi Beach in New South Wales last night. Our thoughts are with the victims, their families, and the entire Australian Jewish community during this time of profound grief. QUT absolutely condemns anti-Semitism and violence in all its forms. At times like this, it is even more important to act with kindness and empathy. Let's start with today's great day for all of you. Graduation is an important part of the fabric of university life, and in today's ceremony, we will confer more than 160 degrees. In addition to today's formal proceedings, it is also an opportunity for us to celebrate and reflect on the personal achievements of all our graduates and join very warmly in their celebration. We would particularly like to welcome those who are live streaming around the world. I believe our graduates would be the first to admit that while graduation celebrates their individual success, their accomplishments would not be possible without their strong support networks throughout their studies. As such, today's celebration also recognizes the significant contribution of family, friends, university staff, and many other people throughout the wider community. We have a large ceremony today, and we will have a short musical interval during the proceedings. Proceedings of today's ceremony is Professor Margaret Shiel AO, and it is now my pleasure to invite them to certify the awards and certificates.
On behalf of the QUT University Council and our Chancellor, Miss Anne Sherry AO, I add to you all our very warm welcome. I also acknowledge our host, Professor Anna Delicek, Professor Ian O'Hara, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Cameron Newton, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law, who will present today's Doctor of University Award, our Doctor of University Award recipient, Adjunct Professor Peter Howes, who's also, as you will hear later, former Deputy Chancellor of QUT, our current Deputy Chancellor of QUT, Ms Susan Ricks, AM, other members of QUT Council, staff, family and friends. But most importantly, I welcome you, our graduates, whose achievements we celebrate today. And I add my acknowledgement of the traditional owners of the land where QUT and this venue stands, the Turrbal and the Yagara people. I call again on Professor Delicek to certify the eligibility of graduates to be awarded their qualifications.
Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the graduates who will be presented to you or who are nominated for awards in absentia are entitled to be admitted to degrees and have awarded awards conferred upon them. I certify to you and to the university that they have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the QUT University Council, I will admit to degrees and confer awards upon those qualified graduates in attendance today. I also admit to degrees and confer awards in absentia upon those qualified graduates who are listed in the graduations webpage but have been unable to attend this ceremony in person.
Vice Chancellor, I now have pleasure calling on Miss Mary Clancy to present today's graduations.
Vice-Chancellor, I have much pleasure in presenting to you graduates in the Faculty of Engineering to be admitted to degrees. For the Bachelor of Engineering, Cameron Etches. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Taj Barlow. Zenon Chen. Christopher Coppins. Christian Erbacher. Ethan Jones. Ned Peters. Bradley McGrath. Daniel Aziz. Jonathan Lamb. Amelia Nelson. Than Kui Nguyen. Aaron Yu. Tat Hin Yu. Sinew Zhou. Khaled Aramdi. Rhodey Boland. Avery Brown. Lin Shane Chen. Xavier Hamilton. William Harvey. Michael Henbury. Jaden Hobbs. Gabrielle Lejeune. Sophie McVie. Luke Naderhoff. Joshua Taylor. Huey Veen. Daniel Brown. Matt Neal. Andrew Shaw. Annabelle Carper. Evelyn Cocaine. Heath Lehner. Bridie Lincoln. Daniel Verchez. Musab Ahmedai Al-Ibrahim. Josh Barber. Joshua Bust. Samuel DeBartolo. Hu Kang Nguyen. Eloise Palace. Mitchell Rowland. Adam Skelton. Sophia Sweet. Jacob Thomas. James Young. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Zachariah Barlow. Brianna Cumberland. Joseph Hooper. Kai Cheng Ke. Mary Yuyan. Samuel Smith. Jason Tiu. Yuvaraj Kumar Rajakumar. Emma Johnston. Marco Belson. Anjdeep Chola. Eka Gunawan. Adarsh Gurung. Sohan Jaram. Ben Joyner. Austin Meikle. Kai Peaty. Ned Stephan. Nicholas Joe. Genevieve Hughes. Cassandra McGinley. Vice-Chancellor, we will now have a brief musical interlude performed by Nick Kanissa. This will be followed by further presentation of awards. Vice-Chancellor, I have much pleasure in presenting to you graduates for the Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, George Wunsch. Alexander Matthews. For the Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Joel Kemp. Kimberly Randall. Sindiso Slabangna. For the Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Olawani Femi Olashini Akib. Emerson Small. Isaac Rogers. For the Bachelor of Design, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Sky Schofield. Sorry, my apologies, Kai Schofield. For the Bachelor of Design with Distinction, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Deshampreet Grawal. For the Bachelor of Design with Distinction, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Ryan Best. Guy Stephen. Ethan Wallen. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Information Technology, Anhad Orjor. Thomas Bartlett. Alexander Tolstov. Rachel Vaz. Connor Harvey. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Information Technology with Distinction, Matthew Bakoff. Ryan Olsen. Declan Bolton. Jaden Grubb. Cody Overs. Jake Overs. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Information Technology, Liam Maguire. Tatiana Perrin. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Information Technology with Distinction, Nicholas Etheridge. Ricky Hironi. Riley Pedersen. Hannah Phillips. Ahad Jangra. Jaden Usher. Marcus Brimblecombe. Jamison Ritchie. Chaska Tan. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Mathematics with Distinction, Noah Conway Schultz. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Mathematics with Distinction, Alejandra Paredes Paredes. Oliver Strong. Dominic Molt. Catherine Colbert. Aidan Hay. Lachlan Randolph. Elliot Ross. Jasper Clark. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Science, Kenneth Baustister. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Samuel Oro. Angela Sells. Anna Forster. Lewis Beira. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Science, Anna Warwick. For the Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Brendan Picken. Vice-Chancellor. At QUT, we recognise outstanding academic excellence through the award of a QUT Medal. To qualify for consideration of the award, a student must have demonstrated academic excellence throughout the entire bachelor's degree program and have, in the minimum of time, passed all subjects at a uniformly high standard. Today, we will recognise 5 medalists. This medalist completed their Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Mathematics with Distinction, with an outstanding grade point average of 6.91 out of a possible 7. This grade point average was derived from all eligible units required for this award. I present to you, for a QUT medal, Sebastian Diss. This medalist completed their Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, with an outstanding grade point average of 6.92 out of a possible 7. This grade point average was derived from all eligible units required for this award. I present to you, for a QUT medal, Daniel Padbury. This medalist completed their Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Mathematics with Distinction, with an outstanding grade point average of 6.92 out of a possible 7. This grade point average was derived from all eligible units required for this award. I present to you, for a QUT medal, Tarang Janawalkar. This medalist completed their Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, with an outstanding grade point average of 6.96 out of a possible 7. This grade point average was derived from all eligible units required for this award. I present to you, for a QUT medal, Claire Carpenter. This medalist completed their Bachelor of Engineering Honours, First Class Honours, Bachelor of Mathematics with distinction, with an outstanding grade point average of 6.97 out of a possible 7. This grade point average was derived from all eligible units required for this award. I present to you, for a QUT medal, Reuben Drummond. Vice-Chancellor, I have much pleasure in presenting to you graduates for the Master of Professional Engineering, Divya Jayantibai Patel. Tanisha Maria Renji. Bindu Vincent. For the Master of Professional Engineering with distinction, Shanghai Choden. Mark Eugene Gregory Adriano. Vice-Chancellor, I now call upon Professor Ian O'Hara to present the candidates for doctoral degrees.
Vice-Chancellor, I have much pleasure in presenting to you candidates for doctoral degrees from the Faculty of Engineering. The full citations of each of the doctoral degrees to be awarded today and the names of their supervisors are provided on the graduations webpage. Amongst the highest qualifications this university can bestow, the Doctor of Philosophy, or PhD, is awarded for the successful completion of a significant piece of independent research sustained in its scholarly character and one which makes an original contribution to the field. For the thesis title, Utilising Cooperation and Exploration Techniques to Solve Complex Multi-Stage Reinforcement Learning Tasks, I present to you Dr. Jordan Erskine. For the thesis title, Risk-Averse and Regulation-Compliant Collision Avoidance for Autonomous Surface Vessels, I present to you Dr. Jordan Gleeson. For the thesis title, Bridging Domain Gaps in 3D Scene Understanding, I present to you Dr. Joshua Knights. For the thesis title, Spectral and Energy Efficient Resource Allocation in OFDMA Femtocell Heterogeneous Networks, I present to you Dr. Tran Lee. For the thesis title, Welcome to the Jungle, Transversibility Estimation for Autonomous Ground Vehicles in Densely Vegetated Environments, I present to you Dr. Fabio Roots. For the thesis title, Ground-to-Aerial Cross-View Image Matching for Robot Localization, I present to you Dr. Dong Wan. Vice-Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of all graduands and awards.
Graduates, on behalf of the University Council and the staff of the University, I offer you my warmest congratulations. Whatever you do beyond today, remember this is a lifelong learning journey. Do it with purpose, with integrity and pride, and know that QUT will always be here for you. I would now like to call upon Professor Cameron Newton to present the award of Doctor of the University.
Vice-Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of the University is the highest award this university can bestow. It is awarded in recognition of distinguished service to the community. It is my honour and pleasure to present to you Adjunct Professor Peter Howes.
We're going to get another chance to clap in a minute. So by the authority of the University Council, I have the honour and pleasure to admit Adjunct Professor Peter Howes to the award of Doctor of the University, and I invite Professor Newton to read the citation.
Adjunct Professor Peter Howes is a distinguished leader in workforce analytics and planning. Over a career spanning more than 50 years, he has shaped the field of human resources metrics, founding and leading InfoHRM from 1982 to 2010, and continuing to influence the global HR landscape through executive and advisory roles. Alongside his incredible career, Peter has all the while been an advisor, mentor, advocate, and cherished friend of QUT. His connection with QUT began in 1969 as a part-time student at the Queensland Institute of Technology. After graduation in 1972, Peter commenced lecturing part-time within the Department of Management, and in 1976 joined the department on a full-time basis until he resigned in 1981 to establish his own consulting and technology firm. Since then, Peter has maintained an enduring relationship with the university. He chaired the School of Management Advisory Committee, and for 9 years, from 2016 to 2025, served on key governance committees, including the Risk and Audit Committee, Finance and Planning Committee, Planning and Resources Committee, Governance, Nominations and Remuneration Committee, and ultimately QUT Council. He was the Deputy Chancellor from 2021 to 2023. In this role, he provided wise counsel to the Vice-Chancellor and our current and former Chancellors. In 2010, Peter and his wife, Mrs. Heather Howes, generously established the Howes Family Scholarship through the QUT Learning Potential Fund. Since then, their support has provided nearly 90 life-changing scholarships to students in financial need. In addition, Peter and Heather have sponsored and championed the Learning Potential Fund dinner for more than a decade, building a legacy of generosity in the support of our students. In 1973, Peter was awarded the inaugural Malcolm Moore Medallion for, and I quote, the student who has performed at a consistent high standard within the QUT Bachelor of Management degree. 30 years later, in 2003, he was awarded the Outstanding Alumni Award from the QUT Faculty of Business. Today, we are honoured to recognise Peter again at this ceremony. In recognition of his distinguished service to QUT and the community, QUT Council has awarded Adjunct Professor Peter Howes, Doctor of the University. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for conferral of the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, and to address us today, Adjunct Professor Peter Howes.
Before giving my presentation this morning, I'd like to acknowledge my family who are here with me today. At the graduation ceremony for the School of Management here at QIT in 2004, similar to this one today, I was invited to make a graduation speech. The previous year, as we just heard, I was awarded the Outstanding Alumni Award for the Faculty of Business, hence the invite. Trying to be diligent, I prepared a presentation critiquing my thoughts on the human resource implications of the four major schools of management theory over the 20th century, commencing with Frederick Taylor and the Scientific School of Management in the beginning of the 20th century, through to the Contingency School of Management Research with researchers like Lawrence and Wallace, Mitzberg and Fiedler in the 1980s and 1990s. At the end of my presentation, which was to a class of management and human resource management students, I'm confident that not one person in the graduation class had any idea what I was talking about. More worrying perhaps, I don't think many of the academic staff on stage that day understood much of what I was saying as well. Learning from that experience, I will take a different approach today. Based on my experience over my career, I realise that 50% of the audience here today will most probably remember nothing of what I've said by the time you finish lunch today, and that 95% of the audience will have no idea what I've said by Christmas. It's my goal to try to change those odds slightly. My primary theme this morning is to combine a few examples of my reflections of my 55 years of association with QUT and its predecessor organisation, Queensland Institute of Technology, and the use of these reflections to support an idea popularised by Bill Gates, that as a society, we overestimate the impact of technology within the next year, and we underestimate the impact it will have over the next 10 years. This idea was first promoted by a guy from Stanford, Roy Arama, a futurist, who in 1978 coined what's known as Arama's Law. We tend to overestimate the effect of technology in the short run and underestimate the effect in the long run. So let me talk about some ideas of that. Let me give you a couple of examples of my reflections of QUT, particularly in the early years, and how significantly, QUT has changed over those 5 decades. When I first enrolled at QIT part-time in a management degree in 1969, I note before most of your parents in the room today were even born, I was working as a trainee at TNT Transport, and I would drive into town 3 nights a week for lectures. In my second week, I was running late one night and I decided to drive up to the security gate at Gardens Point Road, same as where it is today, 55 years later, and see if the security guards were still on duty. To my present surprise, there were no security guards, so I drove through and parked adjacent to U-Block, right near Old Government House, because in those days, all of our lectures were in U-Block. For the next 2 years, 3 nights a week, I arrived at 6:15 when I was able to park in the same spot at the base of U-Block. Most probably you can't do that today. In 1972, my final year as a full-time student, there was a total of 34 students in the Faculty of Business. This year, I expect that number will be around 3,000 students, some magnifier of 100 times what it was in 72, as a comparison. In 1972, there were 28 students studying accounting and 6 students studying management. 4 of the accounting students were females, including one who I subsequently became my wife for the past 52 years. Studying full-time in the early 1970s consisted of studying 5 full-time subjects, the equivalent of 10 semester subjects today. If you failed one subject in that year, you had to repeat every subject. I can't imagine doing that today. Naturally, in those days, assessment was 100% examinations, no marks for assignments. In both the accounting and the management degree, there were a total of 15 year-long subjects, with 10 of those subjects being common to both accounting and management. Across both courses, in the entire length of the course, we had one elective. So in final year, we could elect to do either economics or econometrics. A bit different to today. From 1982, after spending 7 years full-time as a lecturer here at the School of Management at QIT, I resigned, as was said earlier, to set up my own consulting and technology firm. Our focus had always been around workforce analytics and workforce planning. In 1996, we moved all of our software to a cloud-based software as a service model. So for those of you who are into IT, I imagine you can understand my shock when 20 years later, when I joined QUT Council, I discovered that not one part of our business software was cloud-based. Today, fortunately, most of it is. During 2005 to 2007, we moved our focus from workforce metrics, benchmarking and reporting more into predictive analytics, optimization models of workforce data. This included techniques like linear programming, structural equation modeling. So 30 years after graduating, I was still able to use some of my econometrics. It is clear to me that artificial intelligence is the major issue in business today, as indeed in society today. It's clearly a core component of the fourth industrial revolution, which we've been in for the last 10 years. While all of my career has been associated with human resource management, I hope that some of my observations apply to other professions, including the engineering graduates here today. 30 years ago, there was an important management trend called business process re-engineering. One of the several leaders of this movement was Michael Hammer at MIT Engineering and Computer Scientists, who wrote a Harvard Business Review article entitled Re-Engineering Work, Don't Automate, Obviate. This was followed up in 1993 with his seminal text, Re-Engineering the Corporation, a Manifesto for Business Revolution. I believe the integration of artificial intelligence with business process engineering, or I would call business process re-engineering, is the sweet spot for artificial intelligence in organisations over the next 1 to 2 years. This will be the short-term impact of the technology referred to individuals like Bill Gates and Ray Amama. Over the longer term, 3 to 7 years, I believe we'll see a whole new application suite of artificial intelligence in data interpretation, my main interest area for the past 35 years. My long-term vision for artificial intelligence is that it will automate the interpretation of multidimensional data to answer questions that currently we do not know to ask. I regularly think of the quote from the former US Defense Secretary, as we all know, is now called Department of War, Donald Rumsfeld. And Donald Rumsfeld, in a speech in 2002, he had a discussion where he said there were no unknowns, things we already know and understand. There are known unknowns, things we are aware of but lack information about. And as well, there were unknown unknowns, things we are unaware of and don't even realise we don't know. Learning about the application of artificial intelligence to both known unknowns and unknown unknowns will have far greater impact on organisations and society over the next decade as you consolidate your careers in engineering than the simple automation of AI into process re-engineering, which we'll see in the next couple of years, which we already are seeing. In conclusion, I would make a few comments. First, I hope that irrespective of whether you are graduating with an undergraduate degree, a postgraduate degree, or a PhD degree today, I hope you will always consider QUT as a critical partner in your lifelong professional learning journey. Today, you'll only know 20% of what you will know in 30 years, let alone 50 years. As significant as it will be, don't overestimate the impact that AI will have on the automation of business process engineering over the next 1 to 2 years. My daughter might disagree with me on that because her current career job involves the automation of AI in the British Ministry of Justice with 150,000 staff. Don't overestimate the impact AI will have in the engineering profession over the next 5+ years, particularly answering the questions that we currently don't know to ask. While QUT and tertiary education has changed dramatically over the past 5 decades of my career, it will change significantly more over your career. The future is very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Adjunct Professor Peter Hoyes, for that truly inspiring address. Family and friends, we have almost came to the end of our ceremony. I suspect some of you would have been told by your graduates that you never cheer, whistle, or basically not make too much noise as they cross the stage. Well, I think we should now all congratulate our graduates by making as much noise as possible by celebrating their graduation. I'm doing few of these. You've done really well in comparison to others, so well done. So thank you all. Before I close, I'd like to thank all the wonderful staff who have arranged this graduation for all of us. It is not an easy job, and we thank you all. I now close by extending my personal congratulations and those of the university to all of our graduates and our best wishes to their assembled family, friends, and supporters. Staff will assist you all, so please stay seated until you are guided accordingly. Graduates, family, and friends, would you all please stand as the academic procession leaves the stage. Thank you. Now go out and celebrate.